Please help me welcome to the front of the room Gold Directors and STI Executive Board members Viola and Randy Crebs.
Blue mic. Can you hear me? There we go. All right, wow, STI Live 2012, making dreams a reality. Let's look at a little bit of the Krebs fulfilling dreams. Okay, number one, marry the girl of my dreams. Whoa. Ageless. Here we are approaching our 35th wedding anniversary. Raised 3 happy, independent children. Oh, very successful. They are very happy, very, very independent. A bunch of grandchildren. Got one so far, but I'm sure more on the way. House paid off? Done. Bowled a 300 game. Jim Rohn, keep it down every Tuesday. Bowling. Done. Travel the world. We just love to travel. Here we are in Pompeii, Santorini, Greece, one of my favorite spots, Colosseum in Rome, Cabo San Lucas. You know, we just love Cabo now. It's spend there a week there every year. Retire. Wow. What is retirement? My gold watch? Don't know about that. But what does retirement truly mean? So, we always like to check the dictionary. To withdraw to a secluded place. To go to bed. Very, very good. I retire to bed. To give up one's work business. Yeah, I can see that. To cause to retire from a position. Wow. But my personal definition is doing what I want, when I want, if I want. Not waking up at 4 a.m. every day like I've done for the last 35 years. And end of a very, very long commute. So, but let's look at statistics for the golden year of retirement. Out of 100 people that start working at age 25 and go to age 65, 1% are wealthy, 4% have adequate enough to retire on, 3% still working. Wow. 63% are dependent on Social Security, their children, or relatives, and 29% are dead. And a very, very sad thought is a 50-year-old, they only have $2,500 in savings at this point. So let's talk about my beginning, okay? Here we are with the cash flow quadrant. A lot of people are very familiar with that. I started out as an employee, okay, where I grew up in a traditional household where I was told, go to school, graduated first grade, graduate from college, which I did twice, get a job. So here I am, not quite GQ, Monica, sorry. Starting out in the coal mines, my degree was in mining engineering. Worked hard for 40 years, and then after 40 years from that company, retired. But after 6 years, I was reduced. Darn, now what do? I have a wife, Jared was about 3. I'm pregnant with our second child, Melissa. Luckily, 7 months later, I got a job in the aerospace industry. Ooh. So here I am with another friend of mine, an associate from Mississippi, Jack Sellers. Well, behind us is about, 125,000 pounds of propellant in that little case there. You know, other rocket stuff. Who owns a cell phone? Yeah. Who has a GPS in their car? This rocket here launched all of those, and they all work because of this rocket. So, other things I'm doing here. Here I had a stay in California. That little white thing hanging from the crane is approximately 40 feet long, so it gives you an idea of the size of that crane. Now I got down to this space to see a shuttle launch. Here I am actually standing underneath an orbital engine. I was like a little kid in a candy store that day. And it definitely is rocket science that I've been playing with for many, many years. Here we had a successful static fire. But in the corporate world, most of my life has been senior management. That's okay, I'm a very high-paid babysitter. And under a lot of stress, I have a lot of people, a lot of budget I was responsible for, but still planning to retire at the age of 65.
So, while Randy is climbing the corporate ladder, I am living my dream. We're raising 3 beautiful children, and I was doing all of the things a stay-at-home mom without any income does. The birthday parties, the swimming lessons, the holidays. I was really loving life, and I was really in my comfort zone. Randy, the kids started getting a little bit older, and Randy started getting a little concerned that I might not be independent enough to really take care of us and the children if something should happen to him. So at that point, I decided to get out of my comfort zone. So I had some options. I could either start a business, go back to school, or get a job. Well, starting a business sounded good, but I wasn't really passionate about anything. I didn't know anything about business, and getting a job, I just didn't want to work at a job for 40 years just sitting behind a desk. I didn't have any skills, any specialized skills, so I chose to go back to school. So I worked hard, and I got my degree in radiology. So I got my associate's degree in the radiologic sciences, and I did that for 10 years. And now I have this specialized skill, and I can start living the life of my dreams, right? So here I am in the E quadrant as an employee, and you can see the picture of the little guy with the wind-up. My plan didn't turn out so well. Within a few years of my career, I looked like that guy with the little wind-up and all slouched over. I like to share this picture with everyone here because, first of all, I didn't think this picture would ever be used for anything because, here I am in my scrubs getting ready to go to work. However, you can see that I'm putting my socks and my shoes on, and it really tells the whole story of what happened to me. I was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis 3 years into my career, and I suffered for 7 of those. And, getting a lot of other health conditions, and, just because of the stress I was in my profession and all the repetitive walking. So definitely I was not living the life of my dreams at this point. It really backfired for me. I transitioned into being ultrasound. I was doing IMT scans for a company of the carotid arteries for prevention of heart attack and stroke. And this is really the catalyst that got me into USANA. Actually, it didn't get me into USANA, but it actually introduced me to USANA. USANA was having a health fair for their employees, and they hired the company I was working for to come in and scan the employees of USANA. We've lived in Salt Lake City for 25 years, and I had driven past the building several times, but really didn't know what USANA was. I was always curious, but I didn't know. Until this one day in particular, I pulled into the parking lot, and this is what you see when you walk into USANA. You see a wall with a bunch of pictures on the wall of people, and I was really intrigued. I still didn't know what USANA was, and they were all happy people, and they were like couples and single people, and I thought they must have done something good to be on the wall, but I didn't know what it was. And then I saw the manufacturing. I saw the little bottles going down in the conveyor belt, and I thought, wow, they must make drugs here. I still didn't know what it was. So I proceeded to do my IMT scans on the employees of USANA. I was asking them questions on what they did there, and it felt really good. People were happy, the employees were happy. I felt good in USANA. So I went home that evening, and I told Randy, I don't know what they do at USANA, but I know this for sure is I'm going to work at USANA. I was still, my mindset was job, and so he said, well, you know what, let's look it up on the computer and see what USANA is. So he looked it up, and he said, oh, I see, it's network marketing. And I said, oh, no way. I was very disappointed, didn't want to have anything to do with USANA, ever. So here I am again, putting on my socks and shoes, getting ready to go to work, right? I do this for 2 more years. I suffer for 2 more years, but I could feel USANA in me. I could feel that that's what I was called to do. I needed USANA so badly, but I was so skeptical. I still really didn't know what it was. Until this young man by the name of Krebs, who lives in San Antonio, Texas. He also happens to be our son. He actually introduced me to USANA. And I mean, how many of you are hesitant to talk to family and friends? It really took someone that I loved and I trusted for me to actually make that decision to join USANA. He was in Denton, Texas, and he called me one day and he said, "Mom, let's get on the computer, I want to show you something." And so we looked at USANA, and I joined USANA. I was probably the first person he called, and I joined just like that because I was so impressed with what I learned. And you know, my advice to you all is just talk to your loved ones, like right away, because it was so important. So now, here's a picture of us at our, one of the first, actually this was the first international convention that we attended. USANA has completely changed our lives. You know, I love this company. I feel so, I'm so happy to represent the company. It actually has changed our health. And here I am now with my daughter. We're out hiking the mountains and snowshoeing, something I never thought I'd even really want, to be able to do stuff like this without pain. It's amazing what it's done for us. And so now we've been able to move from the E quadrant to the B quadrant. And that's very empowering, and now we have a big future with USANA.
Wow, okay, so 6 short years. So what is this really leading up to? Why are we on stage? Well, February 8th, that was Wednesday of this last week, I retired from helping out. Good on the mantle anyway, but no, it feels really good. So now, my dream is now to join Viola full-time, and we'll find people to share our vision of better health, better finances, tax savings, stuff that we've had for the 6 years, self-improvement, wow, definitely. Being part of an amazing family, we love you all. Changing lives, and this one, helping others make their dreams become a reality. So, with that, thank you, Viola. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Dr. Wentz. Thank you, USANA. And most of all, you can never remember this, forget these. Thank you, my USANA team, our USANA team, for allowing my retirement dream a reality. There's just a few short of them. It's just, we love them all. It's just been an amazing journey. Again, this is definitely a team effort, something you need to do as a team. Sorry, I should have put it to music. Look, no hands, too. Wow. It's kind of a great, great team of people. Again, here we are on the pyramid. She hasn't changed. It's just like I married her 35 years ago. So here we are on the beach of Cabo. Thank you very much.
Please get on your feet for our President of North America.